crazy when I do that. Drew, how are you, bud?
Doing great. How's everybody else?
Doing good. This call is all about pizza today. We're just
so far.
No, I have this place. I used to travel to New York a little bit for work, and it's this little tiny hole in the wall in New York. It's called Pat's Pizzeria, and it was recommended to me years ago. And literally every time I go there, it's like a out of body experience. You know, like the marinara is so good, and the crust is just so right. Like the last time I was there, I got like they're huge slices, and I'm telling my wife, I'm gonna take them back to the hotel room. Those slices didn't even make it out of the place. I just powered right through them.
So yeah, we have a place, little hole in the wall in this little bitty country town called Alfonso's. Same thing. I swear, like they walk in the backyard, cut up some mushrooms or something. You know, it's just so good.
Man, when you have good pizza, that's why like it cracks me up when people are like, oh, let's order like Domino's or something. I'm like, oh God, no. I mean, that's not pizza to me, you know? I mean, it just is just crappy compared to that. But if you like Domino's, that's totally cool. It's just when you have that really good pizza.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. We'll give it one more minute here, see if more people on, and we're going to be recording this so that we can get it out to the world.
I'm going to go grab some water and I'll be right back.
We are all about hydration. Drew, how have you been, man?
Been doing real good. Right now, I'm just trying to calm down here. She'll probably trying to calm down my dogs.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but we have been hot for San Diego. I mean, we've been humid and hot, and the temperature just keeps on going up. So I am ready for it to start cooling down.
Yeah, it's starting to cool down in the Midwest. I'm real close to St. Louis, and like the next 10 days, it's like high 70s, low 80s.
Okay. No, that's great. That is solid. There he is, David Henry.
Hello.
We got Mike on. The legends are all showing up. We got Nathan. All right. Crystal is joining. All right. So guys, this is what we're going to do today. I want to do a quick breathing just for the reason we do the breathing is we always carry. You ever walk into meetings and people are like, all right, let's jump into it. Boom, 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 boom. And everyone's like, I'm retaining about half of that. What I want to do really quick, we're just going to do like 2 minutes of some deep breathing. We're not going to do the full counting because we got a lot of good stuff to get into. But I want to change your state. I want to open up your mind, and I want you to be thinking about how you could use these simple language skills in your everyday conversations. So real quick, and if you're driving, keep your eyes open, please, just for safety, but we can always still do some deep breathing. So I'm just going to close my eyes really quick, and let's just get a really good deep breath in through the nose. And then out through the mouth. Typically, you're going to feel your body tingling just a little bit when you take a nice deep breath. What you're doing is breaking the pattern, activating your central nervous system, and telling the brain that we're going to get into some great conversation and we'll become masters of language. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And let's just eliminate all the stress that we had from earlier this morning or something we're thinking about from last night or nervous about today. And let's focus on the next 30 minutes together. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. A modified breathing exercise today as we join back into the group. Folks, we are going to do my favorite thing today. We are going to talk about how to be better communicators, which is something we always need to be working on. David Henry, you're going to say, hey, when am I going to become a great conversationalist? When am I going to have it mastered? The answer is you never really do. You're always working on it. So folks, I want you to think about something, and I want you to imagine this. This is what we've got to break. Our mind, as I said, it's the most expensive real estate in the body. And our mind sometimes defeats us a little bit. Casey, imagine if you had a neighbor that every morning when you woke up, they came and they knocked on your door and they said, you answered the door and they said, hey, you know what? Good morning. You're just not going to be good enough today. And close the door. And then you're walking your dog and some stranger comes up and says, hey, I wouldn't make some of those calls today. I don't know if you're ready. And then maybe you jump in your car, you turn on the radio and it says, hey, David Henry, make sure that, you just do okay today because don't take any chances. Well, you know what? That's what our mind does to us all the time. Literally, when we go to bed at night, we've got to watch what we're thinking. When we wake up, we got to watch what we're thinking because our mind's going to say that maybe you're just not good enough. You're just not enough prepared. You just don't have the answer for that question. What we're going to work on here is building up your confidence so that we absolutely can handle every situation and make the best of situations that don't go our way. I'm keeping this quote up. In life, you don't get what you want, you get who you are. I want you waking up saying, I am a great communicator. I am going to be able to handle any objection that comes my way. So this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to go through a couple of very simple concepts. They're going to be repeated to you constantly and over again. And we're going to do role plays. And we're going to all participate at a really high level so that we all get comfortable. I will make mistakes. You will make mistakes, and this is a safe space. We are here to make mistakes together. I like to say, fail fast, fail early is the way that you improve. Okay. So we've taken some notes. These are a couple of things that we need to know about having great language. And again, these are our truths. These are from things that I've read and how I've been coached in my life, and they've made a huge impact on my life. There's an incredible book called Aspire. You don't have to get this book. It's written by Kevin Hall. And the key to the book is how to have the best outcome in life. In that book, he talks about a word called Jinsei. Jinsei, if you want to spell it, it's Ghenshai. The word's an incredible word. And what it means is never make people feel small or wrong, especially when you're talking to them. Never make people feel small or wrong, especially when you're talking to them. See, Western culture is, and we don't even know that we always do it. I was literally last weekend, I was with my family and I'm walking down the mall and this lady comes out and says, do you want something for your cell phone? I said, no, I'm just fine. You don't even know what I have. And I stopped her and I said, hey, listen, I appreciate it. I really am fine, but you shouldn't lead with that. And she goes, shouldn't lead with what? I said, you just told me that I don't know anything about what you have. She says, well, you don't know what I have. I said, once again, why would I want to engage you if you're telling me I don't know anything? Like that. Now, what could you say more positive? Hey, I really like your shirt. Those are great shoes. If you need anything for your cell phone, I'm your person and I'd love to serve you. Different communication. We like to say, hey, listen, you don't even know what's really happening in the health world. You don't even know what we're doing. You haven't even heard enough to make a good decision. All those things are doing are pushing people away from us and we don't even know it. But how many times have you been approached with negative where people are like, I can't wait to tell you everything that I'm going to tell you. And you don't know something. That starts us off on the wrong foot. So we're going to talk today about how to bring people in and how to be partners with them. I want you to write this down. We're going to move towards conflict and objections. In fact, I like to say we go for no's. Because that's when we get into the conversation. Most people, when they hear no, they go on the defensive and they want to start saying, well, but our products are, much better. And like, you should see our pre and post workout. Like we check the ingredients on what you're using. And we get into an argument with people. We don't want to get into arguments. We want to get into alignment. We're going to go for the no. We're going to go for the conflict because that's how we're going to get to where we want to go. Number 2, I want you to write this down. In conversations, you should act as if you don't know anything. Don't be an expert at anything. Just listen. Keep quiet and listen. Another thing that we're going to work on, and I'm going to stop you today when we're doing these role plays, filler words. We got to be careful. A lot of times, when we see it all the time when we're watching, reality shows and things, and people talk like, and you know what I'm saying? You know what it's like? But it's like, well, I hear you. When we use slangy filler words, the word people use it all the time. Very intelligent people use it. It gives the audience the impression that they need space to really think about what they're saying, that they don't really know what they're saying, so they need to pause. We use silence to pause, because that does heavy lifting. We don't fill it full of filler words with like when I'm here, you hear what I'm saying? Those types of things we're going to move away from. So let's talk a little bit about how we get into agreement with people and how we have great conversations. The first thing I want you to think about, especially if you're in person or on a Zoom, there's a little device that's become one of the most negative impacts on our conversations. And it's one of the rudest things that you could do to people. It's a device that we all carry around. Casey's smiling. Yes, the phone. Now, I know we've all done this, and I'm gonna raise my hand. I do this, like I've been in elevators before, and I'm in there by myself, and we stop at a floor, and the doors go to open. I'm like, God, I really don't want to talk to anybody today, so I think I'll just start looking at the weather. I think I'll start doing this. When you have a phone in your hand, and it beeps, and it texts, and you stop, and you're looking at it, David, what are you telling the person that you're talking to?
That they are not as important as what's going on in my phone right at the moment.
100%. So a great thing that we should always think about doing, and we should be proactive on it, when we meet somebody in person and when we're on Zoom, we say, hey, I want to thank you for giving me your time today. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and silence my phone or turn my phone off. If you put it down, it goes down face down, or you put it in your back pocket where it's not seen. And now you've just established respect. That one little thing. I can't tell you how many times I'm talking to people and they're doing this. And you're just like, this person's not even listening to anything that I'm saying. So the first thing that we're going to do to bring people in, we're going to identify the number one fault, and we're going to acknowledge it. Casey, I want to thank you so much for the time to meet at this beautiful gym. I really appreciate your time. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and silence my phone and put it away. Boom. That's out of the way. What did I do too when I introduced myself, the conversation? I said something to her. What did I say that leaded off that conversation, Drew?
You used her first name.
And I thanked her. See, if you thank somebody starting out of the gates, thank you for taking my call. Hey, thank you for reaching out. I really appreciate that. See, Casey, if you say to me, hey, Sean, thank you for taking my call, you've just established something. One, I'd have to be a real jackass to be rude to you, because you just thanked me for being part of the call. And you just said, we're going to have a call. When you go to a gym and you meet somebody in person, thank you for your time today. I know it's valuable to you. I appreciate that. This is going to be a great conversation. The power of what I just said there just made that person feel, one, respected, two, appreciated, and three, let them know that we're going to have a great conversation. So many times people are like, hey, so great, let's go. Let's jump into this. Hey, I'm fired up. I love this place. Man, I can't wait to talk to you about focus. This is going to be so great. Person's like, yeah, okay, good. Yeah, all right, here we go. Slow it down. Slow it down. Organize your thoughts. Thank them. Set the tone for a great conversation. And respect them all before you get started. See, something else happens there. And what we're doing, and we're talking about it, we're going to slow conversations down. Not to get all scientific on you, but the frontal cortex is where we have rational thought. This is where we plan, we organize, We get all the numbers in line, and it moves slower than the rest of the mind. That's why our emotional side, that's where we make decisions quickly. We're like, oh yeah, no, that feels right. That's a good thing to do. We want to tie in when we have a conversation into that frontal cortex where the rational brain is going to be engaged. We never do this with our kids. You know, we'll say things to our kids, I love you and you're driving me crazy. And then they say back, well, you're driving me crazy. And then we're in a total argument. And then if and the kids know it's on with me when I'll say, hey, you know what, Penelope, I love you and you're driving me nuts right now. Now she knows it's on. We're going to have a real conversation and we're going to get some solutions out of there. We're going to get out of that. You're driving me nuts. We're going to slow the conversation down. Casey, I'm so excited to meet you at the gym. We're going to have a great conversation about Xendurance. Are you ready to buckle in? Let's get going on a great conversation here. Casey's like, oh my God, this person is going to overwhelm me. I'm not going to be able to handle this conversation. I don't want to do business with this person. Casey, I want to thank you so much for your time. We're going to have a great conversation. And listen, I know your time is valuable, so really appreciate you. Now we're going to get into a conversation. So the things that we're going to do today is we are going to we're going to handle some objections, and then we're going to talk about something that I am doing right now. And it's called a downswing. This is something that really powerful speakers, if you listen to Tony Robbins, if you listen to, anyone that's an influential speaker that really uses their voice, they're going to insert downswings. Because this is the way the downswing affects our mind. Again, it ties into the rational brain, not the emotional brain. You've got to come and get this deal now. Hey, have you seen the deal we have now? When we raise our voice and we do an upswing, that's when we're excited and we're insecure and we're not standing on stable ground. You got to act now. Okay, you should act now. When we downswing, we slow the conversation down and we sound like we have more confidence. I literally want you to practice this in front of a mirror. And you see me doing it with my hand because that's how I've learned how to insert it. You know, I want to let you know I really appreciated this conversation and I am going to remember you. I really want you to know I appreciate the conversation and I am going to remember you. What a great way to leave a conversation with authority and with confidence in your mind. So today what we're going to work on is downswings. We're going to work on bringing people in. I'm going to be calling on people. And I'm telling you right now, we are going to make mistakes and we're going to have fun. And you are going to learn by being engaged. Casey, you just got the best smile on your face. Like you're just actually begging me to work with you, aren't you? You're just like, call on me, right? Is that what you're doing?
It's just so interesting to me. I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking about myself that I'm like, so am I constantly just way too high? You know, like I've never learned this stuff and I've never heard about it before. And I'm just super excited. That's all.
You know, I'm so glad that you said that because when my mentor, this woman, Diana Kokoska, she's like, the number one thing I'll do to you is critique your language. And I'm like, how can that be the biggest impact? And it literally is the most important thing that you could do when you're building a business. So Casey, I'm going to grab these are some of the objections that came out on the, in fact, I'll go ahead and I'm going to have you ask me the question first, and then I'm going to give you like an objection handler. I will go back and do like opening statements and things, but I want you to see how when somebody gives us an objection or is in a conversation, how just by controlling our words, we can take control of the conversation. And remember, this company exists. You are working with a company. Your business exists to improve the health and wellness of as many people as possible. You're not selling the extended warranty on the transmission. You are selling health and wellness in human beings. So have a little pride about what we're doing, okay? So let's give you, I want you to tell me this. Hey, I could never leave First Form, they are just such a great company for me. Okay, just say that to me.
I could never leave First Form. It's the best company I've ever worked with.
Casey, I hear you. I hear you, and I want you to know that's okay. Hey, tell me, what's the best thing about First Form and working with them?
Oh man, it's just their culture. They're just so awesome. I just love everybody there.
Great. Hey, Casey, specifically, what is it in the culture? I'm excited now. I can feel it. I see it on your face. What's the one thing that they do just so well?
I guess it's just community.
Okay. Community is very general, Casey. So let's get but what did I do when Casey gave me the objection? Did I say to her, oh, well, Xendurance is this? David, what did I do?
You acknowledged her feelings and said, I get it.
Yeah. The first thing we want to do is think First Form is a competition to us and we have to compete with them. No, not at all. She believes something that I need to understand. And I might not even get to it. She might keep on saying, no, it's just, culture. I can't really put my arms around, hey, I don't have time for this. Hey, that's great. Casey, I'm looking to get the culture that you have at First Form, and I'm going to win you over someday. In fact, I appreciated this conversation and I'm going to remember you. Okay. Because not every time do we have to win a conversation, do we, David? In fact, that's so important how we leave it. And what did you hear me say whenever I end the conversation? Hey, it's been great talking to you, and I'm going to remember you. Just a quick little touch, and I'm going to see, Drew. Why would it be important that I say it's been great talking to you, and I'm going to remember you? It's a very simple statement, but what does it do?
Yeah, it builds rapport, with that person.
Yeah, I enjoyed the conversation, and you know what? I'm acknowledging that you're special to me. I'm going to remember you, Casey. We'll be talking again. Have an incredible day.
Yeah, and how you left that person, they're going to walk away and be like, maybe there is something I need to know about Xendurance.
Dude, here's the greatest thing about life, guys. We know that 90% of the people aren't going to really want to get engaged in the business at a high level anyway. So that's okay. But they could become customers. And you know what? They might want to jump in to the conversation later on and be like, I'm going to get back in touch with Sean. I'm going to get back in touch with Casey because you know what? They like me and I like them. If you say, oh, well, First Form is, did you hear that First Form? Did you hear the word on the street with that? And you start attacking something they believe in, done. Never going to talk to them again. You'll never repair that conversation and it's all over. Yet, what do we see on TV, on ads, on everything? We knock everybody else down, and we try to make our position higher. So we actually narrow our pool of people. You know what I could say too? Hey, you know what, Casey? I'm glad that you're happy there. We're working to get culture like that. I'd love for you to be part of that. Hey, who else do you know that I could maybe be talking to? It does not even matter that they're in competition. The fact that you say, who else should I be talking to, means you're going for people. You're going places. Well, if it's not her, I'm going to find somebody else. And then that makes her think, am I missing something here? Like, am I going to give him somebody and then are they going to do better than me? Or are they going to get in on something that I'm not understanding? You open that door, there's always an opportunity. Okay. So let's do this one. I love one of these objections that came up, and I want to do this with Casey. That came up, and Nathan, we got to mute you really quick. Okay, no problem.
I wanted to make a point on that real quick.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I had someone that I talked to that was talking about First Form, and what I said to him was, hey, I love Andy Frisilla too. I love his message. I love his business message. I love his motivation. We have that same culture here with Xendurance, and we happen to be local, the person I was talking to, and our headquarters is right here local. Xendurance is local to you. We are creating that culture. We can sit down with the CEO of Xendurance. We really can't sit down with the CEO of First Form. I want to invite you. I'm going to send you out a bag of extreme endurance. I want you to try this product. It's not something that First Form has. They have some great stuff. They don't have this. Give me your address. I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to touch base with you in about 2 weeks.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. All right, now Casey, here we're going to jump into a role play here. So Casey, here's a great objection that I love. Hey, you know what? I've tried Xendurance, but you know it's still just not as good as that cheaper brand that I'm buying at Walmart.
So I mean, I understand. I know you like what you're getting, but I guess explain to me, what is it that you mean by as good?
Well, you know, I mean, you know, they have this like grape flavor, and it's really tasty on their pre and post workout, and it's about half the price. So yeah, it's much easier for me to get there, and I just pick up my multivitamins there too. They 2 for 1. 2 for 1 a lot of the times. They have the little tags up there. So it makes it a lot easier for me just to get the product at Walmart.
Okay, I want a timeout.
Yeah.
because my first instinct is to just throw up all over them about my product is so much better. It gets sent straight to you. You don't have to even go to the freaking store. It comes right to your doorstep. Like, I just want to puke everything I know about it on them.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to establish rapport, okay? And you're going to use downswings on that. So if I'm saying, hey, I just like this grape flavor, or, hey, I like getting the 2 for 1. So it's a financial decision right there, is what I'm talking about. So the first thing that you're going to say is, hey, Sean, I hear you, and I completely understand where you're coming from. You can buy products at Walmart. That statement right there. So now I'm like, oh, okay, so this isn't going to be an argument. Hey, have you ever had an experience where like you were going to the same restaurant and then you upgrade a little bit and went to a better restaurant and really had an even better experience? Has that ever happened to you?
Have you ever eaten at Vagabond Pizza?
Yeah, no, I know exactly.
We were just talking about.
Oh, and by the way, Casey, you know what? And I totally understand where you're coming from and that you're currently getting your product from Walmart. Are you aware that with Xendurance, there's 3 different ways for you to get engaged with our company? Would you be interested in hearing on how you could lower the cost of the products and actually even get the product for free and make a little money? Would that interest you? I said in that conversation, I like the 2 for 1. I'm looking for deals. Money's in my mind. That person is open to a conversation. Would you be interested in getting the product at a reduced price or actually making a little money while you're taking the product? Then I'd be like, okay, that's exact. Does that make sense, Casey?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. And lots of times, like when I'm out, I guess I do a lot of events and, you know, things like that. And I usually have some paper in front of me and people look at it and they see the price and they're like, wow, that's really expensive. And I say, yeah, you know, you're right. I mean, I totally agree. Looking at that, it's really expensive. If you look closer, you'll see that that's the retail price. We also have a member price, but I have something in between that. If you don't want to get the membership yet, I can give you a discount code and you can save 15% and it'll work right in between those two. And you can just try it out.
And use downswings, and then do me a favor, Casey, and take the word but out of your language.
Okay.
So what but does, if I said to Drew, hey, Drew, I really love your shirt, but, because then it's like, hey, Drew, I really love your shirt. And you know what? I love the red one even more. You know, it's a better way to make a statement, but makes it a negative. Okay, we got 2 minutes here until I jump to my next call. Now, listen, guys, we're going to work through this every week. I picked with Casey right now. I'm going to grab other people. This will be recorded. We're going to work through little specific things that we do to improve our language. In closing, you hear me saying it, master the leave the conversation speech. So many times we don't know how to end a conversation on a high. So write down, it has been great talking to you. I am going to remember you. That is just as important as the thank you for giving me your time. When we end it like that, we leave the person smiling. We leave the person saying, I'm special. I guarantee you, folks, just from this call alone, if you intro with that making people feel good, you slow the conversation down so you know you're going to have a great conversation and think with a logical mind, and you end, even if they're a customer or not, with a great leave like that. And you can create your own, whatever you want. Hey, it's been a fantastic conversation. I want to thank you, and I'm going to remember you. Whatever it is that's yours, practice in front of the mirror before you go out. Language is not something that you just absorb. You practice, practice, and practice. All right, guys, give me a thumbs up. Did we hit anything here? All right, here we go. Let's keep it going. Next week, we're going to get even deeper. Have an incredible day. I love all of you. Reach out to us. Let's go sell some product. Let's get some customers, and let's make it happen. All right? Bye, guys.